Tea. Good morning. How are you guys? Lovely to have you all here. Can you hear me okay? Can you see me okay? Is the sound coming through okay? It's not breaking up. It's all clear. Beautiful. Okay, team. So our very, very last theory session. Next week, we will still have a little walk through the LAR. So I will be taking you through a walk through the LAR next week at this exact same timing. So in case you guys are going to miss me too much, don't worry. I'll still be here next week for you. Just to give you a final little walkthrough of the LAR so that you know exactly what to do, where to do it, how to do it, and then I'll show you precisely what you have to fill in versus what I will be filling in. So it's not so overwhelming for you. So next week there is still a session at 11. It'll probably just be around an hour, not even an hour. We'll just be going through the Alera document. For today, our very, very last theory session of the training, what we're going to be doing is we're going over consultation to goal setting. So what is the exact process? Now that we understand how do we actually deliver a Pilates session, inshallah, how do we actually take a client from a brand new client? How do we consult with them? How do we get all their information? How do we set up their goals and then create the progressive plan that we discussed last week from here? So we're going to be going over how to actually conduct those consultations. How do we use the PAR-Q and screening tools confidently? We're going to learn how to set some SMART goals. And then we're going to be going over the exact steps needed to complete this training. So what are the exact steps that you need to do after this training to finish everything and gain your diploma certification? Okay, ladies, sit up nice and tall, put a big smile in your face, and send me one emoji that represents how are you feeling today. Make it something fun, make it something exciting. How are you feeling? Give me a fun emoji. Give me something that's outrageous, something that's different. How are you feeling today? One emoji. My is feeling cool as a cucumber. Okay, beautiful. Sophia, Zoom user, is it Mila? Let us know. Is it Mila? Oh, Sophia's feeling vacationy. Ready for the ocean, ready for a swim. I'm coming with you, Sophia. Let us know where we're going. Zoom user, is it Mila? Let us know. Patty, give us an emoji. Let us know how are you feeling. Hanan has just joined. I see she's joined all over my screen. Okay. Hanan, give us an emojis. Mila, I think it's Mila, Zoom user. She's feeling nice and strong, feeling great. Okay, beautiful. So, team, why do you think the consultation, the goal setting, getting informed consent, and getting someone to sign the indemnity, why is this all an important part of the process? And if you want to unmute yourself, you're welcome to unmute yourself to let us know, or you can let us know in the chat box. Why is this all important? Hanan is feeling loving. Why is the consultation important? Why is goal setting important? Why is signing the indemnity? The indemnity is the form that says they're not going to hold you liable or responsible for any injuries. My says for safety and risk management. Beautiful, right? So absolutely safety and risk management. Any other reasons? Why is it important? Why is the goal setting important? Why is consultation important? Indemnity, right, is for safety and risk management to protect ourselves as the instructor, to protect our clients, to let them know that we're also professional, but also to take any risk off of ourselves. But why the goal setting? Why the consultation? Beautiful, right? The goal setting would be able to give us a structured plan. Once we know what are our clients' goals, what are their abilities, then we know how to create a structured plan. Exactly. And then we know how to tailor the different exercises. We learn what they're capable of, what their current fitness levels are. Right. So every successful Pilates program, before we start with any movement, before we start with any exercises, we have to first understand, who is this person in front of me? Who are you? What injuries do you have? What is your lifestyle? What time availability do you have? Right. So the consultation and initial screening process sets the foundation for everything that can now follow. Right. So it's that first meet and greet. It's like if you want to get married, you're not just going to marry someone, right? You're first going to go on a date. You're first going to get to chat. You're going to get to know them. And then there'd come in an engagement. Training is the same thing. The first date is that consultation. You're getting to know each other. You're getting to feel each other out. You're getting to understand, what is this person looking for? And can you help them meet their needs? Can you help them create a structured plan that ultimately will get them to their goals? So we use thoughtful questioning, observation, we use listening to really understand our client's goals, the client's history, their current physical condition. And this is where we can actually transfer all this beautiful data into some form of direction. And we start to build this relationship. We start to build the connection, the trust, we build the rapport, right? So goal setting, we get to figure out, what does this person want? So the very first step is collecting the client information, right? We're collecting, what information do we need to create a safe and effective personalized Pilates program, right? We understand, who is this person and what are they looking for? So remember, Pilates is very client-centered. The more you know about the client's body, their goals, their lifestyles, the better you can design the sessions that are functional, safe, and meaningful, right? We want to make sessions that match our clients' daughters. What is their posture? What is their lifestyle? What is their work schedule looking like? And how can we create a plan that matches that? So this process of collecting client information includes gathering all the information, gaining their informed consent, so getting permission from your client to use their data to create the client's program, getting an indemnity form. Your client signs that they know that there is some risk to practicing Pilates, but they will not hold you liable for any injuries or accidents that occur, right? So you safeguard yourself, you protect yourself. Inshallah, nothing bad will ever happen. But in case something does, you've got that protection policy that you will not be held liable in case anything does. And then once we've got all this information, we also know, is this client actually able to perform Pilates at this stage? Perhaps they've got an injury. Perhaps they've just had a pregnancy and they don't have medical clearance. So perhaps they first need to go and get medical clearance before starting a program, right? Especially if you're very new to the industry. If you haven't been practicing fitness or training, or you haven't been delivering classes for a long period of time, and you're stepping into a new industry, be making sure that you're protecting yourself and know when to refer your client to a medical professional. So obtaining this consent helps to build trust, but it provides clarity on the program's purpose. It ensures safety by explaining that there are risks that could be involved, right? Of course, there's risks involved when doing Pilates. Luckily, it's not as bad as training or CrossFit or High Rocks, right? But it is very important, and it is a legality, right? By the law, you are required to get this information and get this indemnity. So every single client should complete a consent form that outlines confidentiality, data use, and their right to withdraw at any time. This is also a great time for you to discuss, what are the charges going to be? When are your sessions going to be delivered? Are you going to be meeting on which days? How often? What are your terms and conditions? What are your boundaries? If someone runs 20 minutes late for their session, are you going to give them that session or are they going to forfeit that session? If someone cancels an hour before their session, are they going to forfeit that session? Are you going to have any policy of please give me 6 hours cancellation policy so that I can rebook that session? Moving into a field where we're delivering sessions, Pilates sessions, fitness sessions, you have to understand that every hour now is money in your pocket. So if someone is canceling a session right before or an hour before, it's very difficult to get someone else to book that session. So you need to explain this to your clients and you need to let them know, listen, I need you to give me at least 6 hours or 12 hours cancellation policy so that I'm not losing out on my income. Right. So explain this to your clients in the consultation process. You should have a list of all of your terms and conditions, right? This is what this is what I require from you. I require at least 6 hours cancellation. I require payments upfront in the beginning of the month to book all of your sessions. I require at least 2 weeks notice if you wish to terminate the contract. So all of your terms, all of your conditions, all of the things that you are going to be abiding by should be in that general consent form. And you should have your clients sign that they know that these are your terms and conditions. They know that payment is upfront. They know the cancellation policy. They know to give you advance warning if they're traveling, right? So that protects you. It lets the clients also know your boundaries. So step one is getting that informed consent, right? This includes what the session involves, right? We will be doing 60 minutes of physical activity, right? There are some possible risks of injury. However, I am trained to minimize these risks as much as possible, and I do require you to have medical clearance before partaking in physical activity. They sign. You also let them know the benefits, right? There are some risks, but there's also a massive amount of benefits, right? We're going to work on strengthening your core. We're going to work on strengthening your spine. Let them know that they have a right to withdraw at any time, but you do require 1 week, 2 week, 1 month's notice so that you can prepare yourself, right? They're not just like, okay, sorry, today's my last session, and now you're running around scrambling, trying to find clients to fill that gap. And also let them know how their information will be used and stored, right? As part of the legalities. Poppy Act. Okay, so on that note, what do you think are some possible risks in Pilates or even potential hazards that there may be in the gym or studio environment? And just so you know, you have to fill this in your LAR as well. So make sure that you're paying attention, you're making notes so that you know what to fill in your LAR. So let me know, what are some possible risks? What are risks of injury? What are the hazards that could be in the gym or in the studio that could cause injury or harm? Lower back and neck injuries. Okay, beautiful. So if a client comes to the session and they've got already any existing injuries, or they might injure themselves if they're going very intense and they're not using correct form, right? They may injure themselves. Not very high likely in Pilates, but if they've got an existing condition, they could make that worse, definitely. What else? What other hazards? What other risks? What other potential harmful things could there be in a gym or Pilates environment? Okay, dizziness or nausea. Maybe they didn't eat well. Maybe their blood pressure is low. Maybe they're just feeling sick. Okay, so dizziness, nausea. So the client again could have those conditions. What else? What else in the actual environment? Start thinking what in the environment could cause potential hazards. Could be some cables, right? Locked exits. Now we need to start looking what gym equipment is there around? Are there any cables? Is there an extension cord that I need to be aware of? Is there any machines in the way? Are there locked exits? I need to make sure my exits are clear, right? So where are the fire exits? How can they escape if a potential hazard happens, right? So as the instructor, you should always know, where are the fire escapes? Where are the emergency exits? Where is the first aid kit? If someone hurts themselves, who's the first aider? Is there someone at reception who's a first aider? Is there a first aid kit at reception? So I should know all of this information. Are there any pregnancies? What do I do for pregnancies? Okay, female, male, what does that got to do with injuries, right? Maybe, right? Right. What does that got to do with injuries, Hanan? Explain further for that. Tripping hazards, right? What tripping hazards are there? Are there mats that are not stacked away properly, right? Are there dumbbells laying around on the floor? Are there cable extensions? What hazards are there in my environment? Perhaps that someone's going to trip over. Slippery floors, beautiful, right? What about slippery floors? Especially maybe some people are wearing their socks. Are there slippery floors? Or is the floors wet? Right, I should be looking, what is the emergency number, right? So I should know, what is the emergency number. I should ideally have an emergency phone available. If I don't have my phone, is there an emergency phone at the reception? Hey, Sherry, we are just going over emergencies and potential hazards in the Pilates studio or a gym environment. So what are some of the hazards that there may be, right? We spoke about our client actually showing up with some injuries, having lower back or neck injuries or joint problems, arthritis even. Our client showing up and they're dizzy, they're nauseous. So our client not feeling at their best, right? Or the exercise triggering something. The exercise, maybe they bend over and they get dizzy. Maybe they've got lower back tinging and now they pinch a nerve, right? We spoke about some cables, extension cords, equipment, locked exits. We spoke about pregnancy. If someone's pregnant, what do I need to watch for? We spoke about some tripping hazards, dumbbells laying around, other equipment, machines in the way, right? We spoke about slippery floors. If someone may slip, we spoke about hazards of that. We spoke about having an emergency exit available, emergency phone available, having a first aid kit and a first aider available, right? So these are all very, very important things that we need to be watching for. And you do have to fill these in your LAR. So in your LAR, it's going to say, what are the possible risks or hazards in this studio environment? And you're going to say, there could be mats, there could be dumbbells. What is the potential risk? Is it high risk? Or is it low risk? You're going to say, is this a high risk, right? If there's a fire that breaks out, that could be a very high risk, right? But if there's a dumbbell packed in its place, very low risk. If there's dumbbells all over the floor, medium risk, right? So now we start assessing what kind of risk is this. Very important as an instructor, you are the eyes and the ears and the space of the studio. So you're looking at all the time, what are the hazards? Right now, it's not such a hazard, but what about before, during COVID? Right, we had germs as a hazard, right? Still now, we should be keeping in mind germs, cleanliness. Is the space clean? Are the mats clean? Or is the floor clean? Someone's going to be using the dumbbells. Have they been wiped down? Have they been sanitized? Right? Especially when there's a lot of germs in the environment. Okay, so the first thing I do is I get assigned indemnity, a PAR-Q, right? A PAR-Q is a physical activity readiness questionnaire, right? You will fill in what, and I think you've got one at the back of your LAR. I just need to double check to make sure. But you will get your client to fill in a PAR-Q before starting any activity. Do you have any medical injuries? No. You guys all filled this in before starting, right? That's what Rory's also been getting you to fill in at altitude. But the very first document that you signed with us on the online application that we got you to fill in, you had to answer some questions, right? Do you have any injuries? Do you have any medical conditions? Are you on any medications? So we want to figure out, who is this person? Do they have any injuries? Do they have any medications? We get them to sign this form. right? What are their personal goals? What do they want to achieve? Do they want to improve their posture? Do they want stronger core? Do they want to reduce pain, recover from an injury? So this helps us to set those realistic measurable goals and select which exercises we're going to be using with this specific person. Then we're looking at their lifestyle. What are their daily habits? What are their activity levels? What is their work like? What is their stress like? What's happening in their home, right? Do they have lots of children? Do they have no children? Are they married? How is their sleep? What is their diet? Do they drink alcohol? Do they smoke? Now we're going to start getting more information about the barriers, right? What potential barriers might there be? Do they work a lot? Are they stressed a lot? Do they have children and a husband at home? Perhaps, perhaps they, oh, it's close. Perhaps they don't have a lot of time availability, right? So now we start looking at, do they work on a computer all day? Okay, now we know their posture may be compromised. Do they stress a lot? Maybe they need more meditation and mindfulness and slower paced movements to slow down the nervous system. Right now, I start understanding what does my client need based on the information they've given me. We spoke about the injuries, right? What are the injuries? Their surgeries. Are they suffering with any health conditions? Now I know what are contraindications. Which exercises should I not be giving them? How can I plan safe modifications around this? And then I'm looking for a physical activity history. What have they been doing prior to this? What exercise have they already been doing? What experience have they already been doing? What are their current fitness levels? Right now, I know where is their baseline. If they've been doing CrossFit and high rocks and boot camp and all the rest and F45, I know they're going to be fine with Pilates, right? I can give them a jackknife and a boomerang and they're probably going to be fine. However, if they've been sitting at home or just going home and work for the last 20 years and they haven't set foot in a gym, perhaps I'm going to start with roll down and roll up and 100 with the knees bent, and I'm going to start them nice and slowly, right? Where are they coming from? What are they capable of? And then I'm going to understand a little bit more about their likes and dislikes. What kind of exercises do they like? And then I know, do they like something more fast paced or do they like something more slow? If someone likes something more slow and you're giving them a very intense contemporary pulse Pilates, they're not going to come back, right? And if someone likes something very intense and fast, and now you're giving them something too slow and you're speaking too slowly and you're explaining for 10 minutes and they're sitting and watching you and they're barely moving, they're not going to come back, right? So we tailor what we give them based on who they are, right? We figure out who are they, what do they like, what do they dislike, what is their lifestyle at, what are some of their motivation and their barriers, what do they enjoy doing so we can give them more of that, what are their goals so we can incorporate that into their training to increase motivation, and then ask yourself, what are some potential barriers? What would prevent them from staying consistent with their program? Okay, they've got a busy work schedule. They're very stressed. They've got a lot of load. Now I know my job in Pilates is to deload them, to make them feel lighter, to give them that space to breathe and relax. And if I give them that space, they're going to stay consistent. But if I'm burdening them, if I'm giving them extra load, if it's an extra task to come to Pilates, they're not going to be consistent. So I need to figure out what are their barriers and what are the things that are going to make them fall off, and how can I encourage them to stay on track. Mila. I was like, Mila, to me, we used to Zoom user. Physical activity equals their fitness level. Yes, absolutely, right? So what is their current physical activity? Then we will know what is their current fitness level. Right, so we figure out what's going on in their mindset with motivation and the barriers. And this helps to uncover what are their practical limitations so that you can coach with empathy and compassion. The biggest success comes from long-term commitment and consistency. Right? The biggest success doesn't come from going to two very strong Pilates classes and not going back for 6 months. You're not going to get anywhere if you go hard, but you're only there for 2 times and you're never there again. You'll get much better results by staying consistent for 6 months, even if it's half of the intensity than you would by going to two very intense classes every 6 months. Does that make sense? So our goal is, how can we help our clients stay consistent based on their preference, based on their lifestyle, based on their goals and their abilities? How can I create a consistent program to get them showing up every single session, regardless of how they're feeling, even when they're feeling low, even when they're low on energy, even when they're stressed? They should still be showing up because you should be able to help them work through that. Okay, and then the final key area I want to explore is, I want to do a couple of assessments. I want to do a fitness assessment, right? What is their current ability? Are they able to maintain a stronger paced class, or are they not? What is their posture like? So how can I assess their posture? I look at a picture. I put a plumb line. I assess what's going on with the shoulders. I assess what's going on with the hips. I assess what's going on with the head. I look from the fronts. I look from the side, the lateral view. I look from the anterior view. I look from the posterior view, the back. So I look from the front, the back, the side. I look from all the different angles to assess what's happening in the posture, because based on what's happening on the posture, I am now going to give, sorry, the fire alarm is going off. I'm now going to give exercises to help them improve their posture. And then also look at their functional abilities. Are they able to stretch forward and touch their toes? Or are they like, dying, bending their knees? I'm assessing, what is their strength like? Are they able to do a full push-up, or do they need to do a box push-up? I'm observing all of this, and then I'm creating the program based on what they're showing me. So I notice, where are the compensations? Which muscles are out of balance? Where are the asymmetries? I look at, what is their weight? What is their resting heart rate? So I'm gathering as much information about who this person is. And then ideally in 3 months, we reassess all of this. How has their mobility improved? How has their balance improved? How is their flexibility improved? How is their strength improved? How is their posture improved, right? Has the resting heart rate come down? Has the high blood pressure come down? Has the weight come down? So I need all of this information as the starting point, so that I know where are we starting, so that we know how to build a plan, and that we know how to assess progress. Are they getting closer to their goals? Okay, so there's a couple of tools that I can use to gather this information, right? There's a written questionnaire, which is generally called a PARQ, Physical Activity Readiness Questionnaire. So I use this in the initial consultation. When I first meet the person, I gather all this information. I ask them, when are you available for sessions? Tuesdays and Thursdays, 3 p.m. Beautiful. Let's book that in. Right? I tell them, this is how much every session I charge every session. I ask for upfront payment. So if you're wanting 2 sessions a week, this is how much it's going to charge you a month. If you're wanting 3 sessions, 4 sessions a week, this is how much it's going to be charging you per month, right? So I let them know everything that's important in those initial setup, right? Then I can do a verbal interview. I can do a discussion. So tell me a little bit more about your lifestyle. I'm making little notes, right, while they're speaking. Yeah, tell me about, are you married? Tell me about your work. I'm making little notes while they're speaking. This is more of a conversation, right? It's a discussion, it's conversation. I'm asking them questions, they're answering. This kind of discussion, it helps to build review. It helps to build rapport, right? I'm getting in rapport with my client. We're discussing. We're getting to know each other's personality. Are we going to be a good match for each other? And then I'm observing them while they're busy warming up, while they're busy doing their assessments. I'm observing. I'm looking forward. Can they do a roll down? Can they do a forward stretch with straight legs? I'm looking for where are the postural imbalances? Are they sitting like this? Are the hips like this? Is there anterior tilts? Are they curving their spine? Is there some kyphosis? I'm looking at some physical assessments, right? Maybe I'm doing some flexibility assessments, or I can do objective measurements, right? So I can ask them based on your own opinion, how flexible do you feel? Oh, I feel 2 out of 10. How mobile and functional do you feel in your everyday life? Oh, I feel 3 out of 10. Or I feel 8 out of 10. I feel quite mobile and functional. Beautiful. Right? So I can ask them, how confident do you feel about your body out of 10? 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. How confident are you with your posture, your overall image? They'll give you a measurement. Right? So there's different ways that you can assess this information. I can use digital tools, I can use online forms, or I can use good old general traditional I can use good old traditional piece of paper, right? Up to you how you want to gather that information. You can use different forms online, right? So all of you filled in the online form online. We use Zoho forms to gather information. Or you can use good old pen and paper, right? You could use your laptop. There's different ways. There's different online platforms that you could use. There's different digital tools that you could use to gather this information. You will be provided with a PAR-Q. If there's not one in the LAR, I just need to check if it's in your LAR. Otherwise, it will be uploaded to the easy course under this section. Okay. So the PAR-Q, the initial consultation, these are essential tools to ensure safety and suitability before starting any exercise. We're looking for the health risk, postural concerns, lifestyle factors that may influence how a client moves. We're also using this stage to build rapport. Clients should feel seen, heard, and supported, not assessed and judged, right? We're not like, okay. You can only go that far. Right. The goal is to get information to see how we can help them improve, not to judge them. Right. And we're not like, okay, can you do this? Right. It's not an assessment. It's a friendly approach. It's just an assessment, right? Tell them there's no wrong and right. It's however you are able to. This is for me to just assess where you are now to see where we need to go. So once you've gathered all of this information, you'll now be able to set meaningful goals that align with their lifestyle, body, and mindset. Okay, so how do we actually then set the goals? We identify what do they want, right? We ask effective questions. We need to understand what is it that they actually want. Having a clear vision is absolutely crucial for ultimate success. Because if there's no target, there's no chance of success. Have any of you guys played darts before? Anyone here ever played darts? Right? So darts, what we kind of see on the screen here. Let me ask you a question. Those of you that raised your hands, you've played darts. If you had to practice every single day, and every day you practiced a couple of hours, and you made that your entire obsession, do you think over time you would be able to hit a bullseye? Yes or no? What do you guys think? Yes, Cherie was very optimistic there. Yes, right. Okay, beautiful. Absolutely you would. Anything you practice long enough, you can do it. Anything, right? So yes, you could absolutely do it. What if I blindfolded you? Would you still be able to hit a bullseye if you practiced every single day? You practiced blindfold. You got your mind and your body and you kept practicing. Yes or no? What do you guys think? Okay, everyone's quite optimistic. I love this. Beautiful. Absolutely, you would, right? You would be able to. Absolutely, you would. What if I took the dartboard away and I took the blindfold off? Would you be able to hit a bullseye? Yes or no? No, you wouldn't. Why? Because there's no targets. There's no board, there's no target. Same thing with netball, right? I can shoot a hoop. I can do it blindfold. I take the hoop away, I can't shoot a hoop because I can't get success because there's nothing to aim for. There's no target. So if there's no targets, there's no opportunity for success. If there's no goal, there's no opportunity for success. And we speak a lot about this in our life coach training, right? So many people are unhappy because they don't have what they want, but they never set the time to define what do they actually want. They never define what is happiness to them. They don't define these things. They don't set a target, and therefore they can never ever achieve it because they never took the time to set it. There's no board. There's no hoop. There's no board. There's no hoop. There's no goal. There's no success. So we have to have somewhere to aim. We have to have a target. Make sense? Beautiful. So what kind of goals do you think people coming for Pilates would generally have? What kind of goals would they be coming in to Pilates with? Especially if they hired you as a private Pilates instructor, what would their goals be? What would they be trying to achieve? Improve posture and alignment. Beautiful. Probably one of the biggest ones. Improved posture, improved alignment. Get more strength. Okay, beautiful. So, yeah, to get a little bit stronger, to build their overall body strength, relaxation, flexibility. Beautiful. Connection, lovely mind-body connection, or connecting with other people as well. What else? One of the most important ones. We haven't mentioned it yet. Body awareness. Okay. What is one of the biggest benefits of Pilates? Posture. Okay, that's part of alignment. Patty, Zanette, Hanan. Lifestyle and consistency goals. Oh my goodness, guys. One of the biggest benefits of Pilates, control of your body. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. Breath. Okay. Okay, good. We're getting into the principles. It's one of the principles. So we've got breath, we've got control, consistency, concentration, posture, flow, flow. One of the biggest ones, guys. Okay, so flow, control, concentration, breath, awareness. What's number 6? Core strength. Mashallah. Core strength, stronger core, right? One of the biggest ones of Pilates, that core strength. Okay, beautiful. So at least now we got all the principles of Pilates out the way, right? Beautiful. So when we're designing the program, we look what are the capabilities, and then we look at what are the goals. We ask them, what are my general health goals? Physiological, psychological, my lifestyle, my social, my functional ability, my recovery. Right? Pilates is connecting the entire system, the social element, the mental element, the physical element. So you ask them, which of these feel most motivating to you and why? Get to understand, is it more the mindset that they want? Is it more the physical strength? Is it more the posture? Is it more the core strength? Right? So our approach is we listen actively. We ask clarifying questions. We ask them exactly what they want. What do you want exactly? What would success look like for you? What would that feel like? We encourage reflection, right? We ask them, what would it feel like for you to achieve that? And we review it regularly, every 2 to 3 months. Say, okay, well, 8 weeks ago, this was your goal. We've been working on this, and I feel like we've really come a far way. Is this still your main goal, or do you have a new goal? Right? And when we get a new goal, we adjust the program to match the new goal. Right? So this way, we always stay up to date. What is the constant goal? We revisit, we readjust. Okay, last month it was to increase the intensity. We wanted to get stronger. We wanted to get fitter. It was more fluid. It was more dynamic. It was more intense. But you've got this new job. Maybe it's a lot stressful. Maybe we need, or maybe you started high rocks training. Maybe we need to slow it down and we go more for mobility and stretching and slowing down. The goals evolve as the client progresses, right? So the goal should always be changing. The program should always be changing to adapt and match. So I'm looking at what are some short-term goals, 2 to 6 weeks, what are some medium goals, 6 weeks to 3 months, and then what are some long-term goals, 3 to 12 months, right? So I'm looking at how can we do short to medium to long, and we keep readjusting and reviewing every 2 to 3 months. So we ask, okay, and then SMART goals. This was the page I was looking for. So in order for goals to be the best goals, we use SMART goal setting. Have any of you guys ever heard of SMART goal setting before? Right? It's quite a common theme that we use. So the goal should be specific. Define the exact outcome and make sure that you're defining it in positive terms, right? So many people focus on what they don't want. I don't want to be in pain. I don't want to have bad posture. Okay, well, what do you want? I want to have good posture. I want to be pain-free. I want to be able to move with comfort. So we define the exact positive outcome. We make it measurable. How can we measure this? I want to improve my posture. Okay, well, let's take a picture now. We take a picture 3 months. Let's measure it. I want to improve my flexibility. Let's do a forward stretch now and see how far you get. And let's measure it 3 months down the line and see how far that is. I want better core strength. Okay, well, let's do the 100 and see how many reps you can get without stopping. And let's do that every month and see how many you can get. Mila says, have a client asking why is no seeing a big result on core, but she is not really understanding the activation of the core while doing Pilates. I think this is the reason. That would be a reason, right? It's your job to help her to understand the activation and ensure she activates the core. And the way that I do this with my clients is I literally go and I jab their stomachs. So if I'm gonna punch you, are you bracing? Are you bracing? And the whole time I'm pretending to punch. I'm jabbing the whole time, right? So you encourage that engagement. Show them how to engage it, and you encourage it by consistently, literally poking them. Jabbing them. Is the core engaged? Get them to put their fingers, get them to feel, is the core engaged? But the biggest reason is probably her nutrition. What is she doing outside of Pilates? Is she managing her eating? Is she doing cardio? Because Pilates is great, but for fat loss, there's a science to fat loss, right? You need to manage your calories. You need to be burning more calories than you're consuming. So you need to be managing your nutrition, and you need to be burning extra calories. So doing Pilates is great, but you need to be doing some form of cardio. You need to be walking, getting steps in. You need to be going for exercise classes. You need to be building muscle. Pilates is great, but you also need to be doing some strength or resistance training, or involving strength and resistance training into your Pilates so you can build muscle. More muscle, better metabolism, more calories burned. You need to manage that nutrition, eating more protein. Right? We do have a nutrition course coming up on the 6th of March. And we will be explaining a little bit more about metabolism and fat loss in this. So if anyone does want to go a little bit deeper into nutrition, please do let us know. But not getting results in the core is generally got more to do with overall fat loss concept, right? You cannot do it just with Pilates alone. It's a holistic approach. Okay, so you make those goals measurable. So how can I measure what their goal is? Either subjective or objective. Either I'm going to actually physically write down something subjective, or I'm going to get their opinion. What do they think? What do they feel out of 10? Is it achievable? Is it achievable within their time frame? Right? So maybe their goal is, I want to lose 20 kgs in the next month. Is that achievable? Probably not, right? But losing 10 kgs over a year, absolutely 1000%. It's going to take being consistent with Pilates, getting extra steps and managing your nutrition, but you can do it. And then, is it realistic? Align with their lifestyle and their health status. Is what you're wanting to achieve realistic with your current lifestyle? And how can we modify your goal if it's not? And then try and make it time bound. Include a time frame. So let's try and achieve this within 3 months. Let's try and achieve this within 6 weeks. So when we create a timeline, it creates more like an urgency and it makes it more important to the clients. They're able to commit a little bit more. So we give a timeline. We make sure goals are smart. They're specific, they're measurable, they're achievable, they're realistic, and they're time bound. So this gives our clients direction, motivation, and a sense of achievement. If your client is coming to the gym and they're not motivated to come to sessions, it means their goal is not strong enough. So you need to get more clear on what their goal is. You need to give them a goal. You need to give them something to be excited about. So we connect their goal to their function. What is their goal? And how are you moving to match and meet that goal? It's not just appearance, right? It's deeper. It's everything around just the appearance. So with Mila, with your clients, okay, maybe you're not seeing that definition. We need to improve the nutrition and stuff. But you used to only be able to do 50 pumps. Now you can do 100 and you're not getting tired. That means your core's getting stronger. You just have a layer of fat that you can't see the six pack. It's developing. You just can't see it, right? So we can measure the core strength outside of appearance. And every goal should reflect the mind-body connection and core principles. So a couple of questions before we go on break. Why do you think clients may struggle to stay consistent in their Pilates practice? What things may throw them off? So start thinking, write a few notes. What might they struggle with to stay consistent in Pilates? Write it down. How might effective goal setting change that? So if you had to set goals effectively and your client was struggling to stay consistent, perhaps you could overcome the barrier through your goal setting. How? How else can you support your clients to overcome their barriers? Is it time? Is it money? Is it availability? Is it stress? Is it fitness? What are the barriers and how can you help support them? And then ask yourself, what are your own short-term goals for your own Pilates practice and starting to deliver your Pilates sessions? Think of your own short, medium, and long-term goals. What exactly do you want to be able to do or feel differently in your body through Pilates? How will you know when you're making progress in your Pilates? What signs or results will tell you that it's working? What feels realistic for you to commit to right now in your own practice in terms of your time, your energy, your consistency? And why is this goal important to you personally? How will achieving it impact your daily life or your confidence? And when would you like to notice a real difference? How can you track your progress along the way? So these should be the questions in your goal setting assessment with your clients, but I'm asking you these questions today. Okay, we're going to go on a 15-minute break. It's 10 minutes to 12 now. We're going to meet back at 5 minutes to 12. I want you to go through these questions and answer all of these questions for yourself and then have a short break. And we're going to meet back at 12 o'clock. So why do clients struggle to stay consistent? How can you help them overcome that? And what are your own short and long-term goals for Pilates? And answer all of these questions. Okay, team, we'll meet back at 5 minutes past 12 and we'll go through how to finish the training. Thank you, team. Any questions, please put them up on the chat box. Thank you so much. See you in a few minutes. Beautiful. So hopefully answering those questions were helpful for your own practice. And it's also getting you to understand a little bit more of the kinds of questions you should be asking your clients before they're starting their Pilates practice. Okay, so a summary of everything that we spoke about, setting goals is more than just defining the outcomes, but it's about creating that shared vision between you and your client. Right? When the goals are smart, they guide process and deepen the client's connection to their body. So goal setting turns their intention into direction, right? We get somewhere to aim for. Goals connect mindset, movement, and motivation. Smart structure turns their wishes into a structured plan. And coaching is about guiding self-awareness and not just giving answers. Right? Remember that Pilates is a holistic approach. The whole journey is holistic. Okay, team. So your final homework. You are going to find a client to perform a full consultation and goal setting on. This client, you will have to deliver at least one Pilates session with this client. You're going to create the progressive plan based on this client. So whoever you choose as your client to do the consultation with, to do the goal setting with, you have to also deliver a Pilates session to this client. So make sure you explain the entire process to the client. Let them know, I need a client for my Pilates practical one-on-one session. Are you willing to do it? We'll need to go through a full consultation. If you can, get a picture of the person to analyze the plumb line picture. If not, you can use already the picture that you had from before. You don't really need to redo it. No one's going to be checking, is this the same person? Right? But ideally, it would be the same person. So you've got your client, you deliver the full consultation and goal setting using all the documents in the LAR. So fill in the LAR with your client's details from page 117 to 122. There'll be a consultation area there. There'll be a goal setting area there. Fill in everything in your LAR with your client. And thereafter, once you've done the consultation, the goal setting session, once you've gotten them to fill in the PAR-Q, you will then create a progressive Pilates program based on your client's abilities, their goals, their requirements. So you're going to assess, what does this person need? And then you're going to create a 10 session progressive plan. So what that means is session one is the very, very beginning, right? It's their first time doing Pilates. Even if they're a little bit more advanced, it would be a little bit more easier, right? So they're 100, they may do it with bent legs. They're only doing 50 reps. Session two, they're 100, maybe they're going for 70 reps, and maybe they're extending their legs a little bit more. By session five, maybe they got fully extended legs and they're going for 100 reps. So the plan progresses in intensity, in reps, in complexity as the exercises continue. Okay, so this is your homework for today's session. Well, no, it will not only be written, because you will also deliver a Pilates session with the client. Okay, Sophia, just unmute yourself. I'm not really understanding. Need to be explained why. What are you meaning? You can
Yes,
unmute. Yeah.
hi. Yeah, sorry. With all this homework, I'm getting lost. Okay, so for this one, you need us to find the client, because I already had the plumb line. I've done it, I've submitted. So I'm trying to understand now, with this LAR, these pages need to be completed, but what about the sessions that we need to fill in? Like, it has to be written, like 10 sessions with progressions. The why goes like, why we're doing this exercise to fix the posture. Let's say, like, we need to explain why we're to choose these movements, maybe.
You must fill in everything that's in the LAR. This is part of your bespoke client project. So it is, I've just pulled it up here on my phone. This is your assessment stage 3. So assessment stage 3 is your one-to-one. This will be your final assessment. So this same client that you're using as part of today's homework is going to be your assessment stage 3. It's your one-to-one session. You will deliver the full consultation with the clients. If you've already got someone else's plumb picture, don't worry about it. It's fine. But
Oh,
you will get all the information from this client. You will fill in the entire LAR from page 117. It will ask you everything that you need for the consultation assessment record. You will fill in all their details. Then you will create a progressive plan, a 10 session progressive plan based on all of this information. This is part of your final assessment for your certification.
okay. This is a Word, let's say, document. The 10 session is a 10 in a Word
Yeah, it's in
document.
the LAR. Everything is in the LAR.
The 10 session is in the LAR as well.
Yes, yes, yes. From page
Because 117, it's only like some questions I can see.
from page
118.
132. From one page 3 to
Ah,
I will send a screenshot to the group so that you can see it.
oh, yes. Yes.
So you have to fill this in. If you want to fill it in a Word document, you can, but it has to be
No, no,
exactly
okay.
like the LAR. Then it's a mission, and you're just going to have to create a whole new Word document. Okay, so
Okay.
I've sent, and you will see it says preparatory phase. In the prep phase, and this is for all of the sessions, but we'll go over it in detail next week. Next week, I'm going to pull up the LAR and I'm going to show you exactly how to complete everything.
Sure.
It will say
Uh,
preparatory phase. Wherever it says preparatory phase, that's what are you doing in the warm up? Okay, I'm doing my A's, my alignments. I'm doing my B's, my breathing. I'm doing my C, my core activation. I'm doing shoulder rotations. I'm doing lateral spine stretches. I'm doing hip mobility. Then you will go to main phase. In the main phase, which 10 movements are you using? The progressive plan, these 10 movements will almost be repeated. We'll be like, okay, it's the 100. I'm doing the 100 again, but this time with 50 reps. So it's the exact same plan almost, it just small changes. You don't need to do 10 sessions of different things. It's the
okay.
same plan. Yeah.
Oh my God. And after this one, it has to be the one-to-one session, like the physical one.
Yes. Yes. With the same client. So you will create the 10-week progressive plan. You will record any one of those 10 sessions with your clients, and that's it.
Okay.
Makes
Thank
sense?
you.
Okay. Okay, so I've sent the screenshots.
Sorry, but we have to do 10 session exactly or just try for 10 session?
Say again, do you need to do 10 sessions exactly
We
or
have to do 10 session with the client or we just feel for 10 session?
just one session? Just one session
Ah,
needs to be recorded and submitted. If you want to do the full 10 sessions, you can. You know, you could charge them a small fee if you want, but you just need to submit one video. But you need to write out the 10 session plan so that we can see that you're
well,
able to progress.
we will write on the LAR and also we have to submit the video with the client.
Sorry, Sherry, you're breaking up a lot. Uh, just say it again, please.
We have also to submit the video with the client or just to fill in the LAR.
Okay, so you fill in everything for the 10 sessions. You fill in written in the LAR, and then you record one session. Just one session you record and submit.
With the client.
Okay. So this is your homework from today's session, but this is also one of the major steps for finishing the course. Okay. So any questions on the homework before I move on to how to finish the course? This page here, you guys have so much information on it. Go back to how to successfully complete this course. You're going to see everything there. Okay. So you're not being given anything outside of the requirements of completing the course. I'll explain it now. So with your certification for the mat Pilates, not for reformer, for mat Pilates, there's two pathways you can take. The first pathway is the international certification from Ignite Academy, right? This is your international diploma from our academy. Everyone should do this pathway, right? This is the normal pathway. Everyone has to do this to get their diploma. The diploma is still internationally accredited because we are accredited through YMCA. If you want an extra additional certificate, meaning you will get our certificate and you will also get another certificate from YMCA Awards Global, so the awarding body from the UK, this is just an optional extra. You do not have to do this. It's an optional extra step. Then you get an extra certificate. Now you will have two different diploma certificates, one from Ignite, one from YMCA Awards. So everything given today is your requirements, the absolute requirements for finishing our certification. If you want to go ahead and complete everything else from YMCA, I have provided you a document that gives you everything you need, and we will discuss it once you've finished our certification. First finish our certification, and then we'll do the extra elements for YMCA if you want to get that additional certificate. So, what do you have to do? Number one, attend and watch all of the recordings from the theory workshops on the Monday. If you missed anything, go back and watch it. So, Monday workshops, watch all of the sessions. All the practical sessions, you have to complete them. If you missed any of the practical sessions, go back, watch the videos, complete it. Complete your, spelled wrong. I can see it. Don't point it out. So complete your anatomy and physiology exam on Easy Course. So on the online platform, Easy Course, go and finish your anatomy and physiology exam. Make sure you've spent at least 20 hours practicing. This includes the Friday workshops, and fill this in on your LAR. Then finish and submit your LAR. You should already almost be finished. Up until this point, you should already be finished. You've already finished all the questions on the history. Inshallah, you've already finished the posture analysis. You've already finished the exercise analysis. You've already started putting your program for the group. You've already started putting your program for the one-on-one. No, not yet, not the one-on-one stuff. So the one-on-one, you'll start from today. So just up until page 137, you finish all of that. You finish your one-to-one progressive Pilates plan. We will be doing, like I said, the LAR walkthrough next Monday. So make sure if you can join the session next Monday, it will be recorded. If you cannot join, you can watch the recording to know exactly what you have to fill in, where you have to fill it in, how it needs to be filled in. And what I will use is I will use an already filled in LAR so that you can get some examples. Yes? Good? Okay. So you finish theory and practical sessions, complete your anatomy and physiology exam, submit your LAR, right? Then make sure you've submitted your posture analysis picture if you haven't done so yet, with the plumb line and the observations. You will plan and deliver a group Pilates class. So a group session like we did last week, except it needs to be at least 50 minutes. There has to be 10 movements. This Friday will be a reflection of exactly what that will look like. So I've chosen 2 people per group to deliver the group Pilates. Inshallah, they will do it as it's supposed to be. And this will give you a clear guideline of exactly what it should look like when you're delivering yours, right? This is your final practice and understanding of how that final session should look. So 10 movements with at least 6 participants, and it should reflect a real life session. If you want more information on how to do this, go to page 62 in your LAR. You will see everything that you're being obsessed on, or you can look through the document that I provided you yesterday in the group, what you will be assessed on. You also have to do a self-evaluation of your delivery. This you will do directly after you deliver. So whenever you deliver your group, I have to be there to assess it, either live or live virtual. So while I'm here over the next 2 weeks after the course finishes, I'm going to give different slots for people. If they're ready to do their group delivery now, there's going to be some slots available for you. If not, in the next 2 months, I'll be back in South Africa. You can do it at any stage. You will just have to get your own participants and your own studio space. I can speak to Altitude if you want to use their space. You may have to pay a small fee, but I will speak to them to try to see if you can come and use their space, or you can use any gym environment, any studio environment to deliver it. So you will do that. I have to be there. So before you do your group, first communicate with me to make sure that I'm available. We will set the time, set the schedule. I will join via Zoom. Or when I come back, the 1st of June, I'm back in Doha. I'm here for 3 months. I will give you options on Fridays. You can use Altitude space any Friday you like. Or if you have your own space, I can join you during the week. We will arrange a timing that we're available. You will arrange your 6 participants to deliver. It's a great way as well for you to tell everyone, listen, guys, I'm starting delivering Pilates classes. I've got a free trial for you to come and join my first class. Please come and join me. Post it on your Instagram, post it on your socials, tell all of your friends so they can come and experience what you're actually getting into. Sophia's asking, in the self-evaluation, are questions to be answered? Yes, there will be some questions answered, but your self-evaluation is going to be on page, it's written down. Let me just quickly try see if I can see it in the LAR. Page 79 of the LAR. There's some questions here. You will write. The questions are like, what feedback did you receive from your participants? How did your instructional style meet the needs of the participants? How the exercises you planned were appropriate? Blah, 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 blah. What did you need to work on? How can you reflect? So you will go directly after your practical. You will answer this in your LAR. Then me and you will have a brief 10-15 minute discussion on your answers. If you did not answer the questions properly, I will ask you another 1 or 2 questions. Okay. Does it make sense, Sophia? Okay. So that is our group delivery. Then you've got your one-to-one bespoke client. So your one-to-one session. Can you guide a one-to-one session? 10 classical movements with your own self-evaluation. This you will do in your own time, whenever you're ready, with a client that you choose. You just record the session and you upload it. This is your homework from today, right? It's part of your thing. Okay. And that is it for the math, right? So basically all that it is you finish your LAR, the progressive plan, the plumb line analysis. This is all in your LAR. You complete the whole LAR. Then you deliver a group Pilates, 60 minutes. You deliver a one-on-one Pilates, 60 minutes. That's it, khalas. And your anatomy and physiology exam. So these 4 steps, that's it. Not so bad, right? Not as overwhelming as we thought a couple of weeks ago. More manageable. Right? Okay, beautiful.
Charlie, sorry. Charlie, please, I have one question. I have to submit the LR before doing the assessment.
Which assessment? No. What do you mean?
But means if I decide to deliver the group class this Friday, I have to do it only if I finish all the things that you said.
To deliver your group Pilates, you have to have submitted a short video of you teaching someone else at least 5 movements. So I want that video. Before you can teach your group Pilates, I need the video. And your LAR should be filled in for your group up until your group Pilates, not the one-on-one. So you will see in your LAR, the group Pilates comes first, then the LAR. So your group Pilates session structure should be filled in, or you should have a separate document that shows your entire plan. Like Shireen, you've submitted to me, right? So it should be a separate document with your ABCs, your introduction, your full 10 movements with the what, why, how, breathing imagery, your full closing phase, which stretches are you doing, how you're going to close it, how you're going to congratulate, how you're going to ask for feedback from your clients. Either you filled in your LAR or you've submitted a document with your 10 movements before your group one. But I need to have, no one can do their group practical before I have their five movement video minimum. Because if you haven't done your video, then chances are you're going to struggle with your group Pilates. Okay. Any other questions on this? I'm sending another document to the group right now with a nice clear summary of the Pilates certification roadmap, right? So step 1, you finish your online exam. Step 2, you deliver your group practical training. Step 3, you deliver that 10-minute theory observations and understandings. Then you deliver your one-to-one practical session. You record it, you upload it. And then along with your one-to-one practical session with your LAR, you submit this together. Halas, that's it. Okay. Beautiful. So that is for our mat Pilates. If you're doing reformer as well, the certification process is that you fully complete your mat Pilates diploma. So you have to first finish everything from your mat Pilates before you can get your certification. You can deliver your one-to-one reformer session before you finish your mat. That's okay. But you will not get your certification until you finished your mat. Because it is an international standard that you should have your mat Pilates diploma before you can get reformer. Anyone who doesn't have a mat Pilates and they got reformer, they don't have an official reformer certification. So how to get your reformer certification? You fully complete your mat Pilates. You attend a review, all the online workshops and the practical training sessions. Finish your online exam on understanding the reformer. Submit your presentation on understanding the theoretical components. That's the same one as the mat. Deliver a 20 to 30-minute group teaching practical, which half of you have done already. If you haven't, you will be doing that this Saturday. So please be there if you missed last week's Saturday to deliver it. Otherwise, we're going to have to arrange this another time, and there will probably be a fee because we have to rent out the studio. And then plan and deliver a 60-minute Pilates reformer session one-on-one. So there's just one final assessment, 60 minutes, minimum of 10 movements with your own self-evaluation. The session should be either assessed in person or recorded and uploaded. I am going to be giving some time slots at altitude availability for this for anyone for their reformer. So over the next 2 weeks, well, after this week, over the next 2 weeks, once the reformer training finishes, you've got 2 weeks to do it with me there live in person at altitude. If you don't get it done within the 2 weeks, there is 2 studio options that you can use. I'll give you the studio options. You would have to pay a small fee. It's 150 reals to book the studio. And then you would just go in by yourself. You would record you and your client delivering the session, and you would submit this. If you don't do it in the 2 months I'm away, when I come back, exact same thing. I will give you some availability, some options for you to use the studio at altitude free of charge when I'm here. Okay, team, that is it, right? Remember, when you're delivering your videos and your practicals, you should be delivering clear instructions. What, why, how, imagery, breathing, you should be seen demonstrating every single movement except for on the reformer. On the reformer, you don't need to demonstrate the movements. You can just speak them. But on the mat, you should be seen demonstrating the movements with proper form. If your form is incorrect, you will get marked down. You should walk around and observe and correct clients and an alignment every single movement. The class session should reflect a real life training session. If you consistently fail to meet the requirements of what, why, how, breathing, and imagery, if you're not walking around consistently observing and correcting, and if there's any other elements that you're not covering, you're not doing the preparation phase sufficiently, you're not doing the main phase sufficiently, you're not doing the closing phase sufficiently, you will get a refer. Not meaning that you're failing, but meaning that you have to do it again. Okay. Beautiful. Team, that is it. Give yourselves a nice big round of applause. Beautiful. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up. I'm going to ask you what was your biggest win of the entire training? And then I'm going to ask you to let me know if you've got any questions at all for anything that we've discussed today, for anything of your certification process. Okay. Shireen, you're first on my screen. If you can unmute yourself, let us know your biggest win and any questions. Now is the time to ask.
Yeah. Question, it's will coming on. When I will open the LIR, I know I will again bother you and ask you a lot of questions. Sorry for that, but sometimes with all questions in my head, so I can't sometimes ask you during the live. Yeah.
Fine.
So, but for the LIR, just I have now one question. We have to finish everything when we finish the group video all together. Yeah. So no need to do it today or finish it today or tomorrow. When we finish everything.
Yes. Yes. You will only submit your LAR when you submit the one-to-one video. So usually the group video would come first and then the one-to-one would come after, but it doesn't matter. Even if you do the one-to-one first and you do the group after, if you feel more confident doing that, that's fine. Doesn't matter how you do it. Just as long as you get your group video, 60-minute, your one-to-one video. Once you have these, you submit your LAR all together. Nothing needs to be submitted before then. I've been encouraging you to do it all along because I don't want you to be left with a million things. Imagine everything you've been doing along, you were only doing it now. It would be a lot, right? So that's why I've been encouraging you to do it, but you only submit it at the end.
Yeah, so just yesterday I surprised of the anatomy quiz.
You finished it?
Yeah, I surprised it. Not yet, no, because it's 40. I told you 40 questions in 30 minutes, so that's not easy, yeah. To answer
I think it's 40 minutes, right? It's 1 minute per question.
30 minutes, I think. 30, yeah.
30?
Yeah,
okay,
almost.
I'll go have a look. If it's 30, I'll change it because it should be 40 minutes. It should be 1 minute per question.
Okay.
Okay, Sherry, what was your biggest win of the whole training?
That's not easy. So now the big win to finish this diploma with everything clear for me. And just yesterday I told May I wanna study all and I don't wanna look to anything. I wanna just like study everything in my head, not copy anything or anything. I wanted to be really 100% ready for this, really.
Beautiful. Yeah. And do you feel like you've improved a lot since the beginning up until now?
Exactly. Yeah. 100%. Yes. 100%. Now, when I'm going to any form class, I feel myself totally different. Yeah. I feel I know everything, all movements. Yeah. Everything.
Beautiful.
Change. Yes.
Thank you, Sherry.
Thanks a lot for you.
Thank you, dear. I'll wait for your message tonight, 9:30, 10 o'clock, huh? Sharing messages me nearly every night, 9:30, 10 o'clock, with the LAR
Because
questions.
when my kids going to bed, I'm starting to check my homework, and every day now I spend 2 3 hours at midnight to do my LIR and study. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
bother you and my now. So
In a few weeks, I'm going to be missing. I'm going to be like, oh, it's 9:30. Where's Shireen? How come she didn't message me?
I'm really sorry.
No worries, dear. Thank you so much. Okay, well done, Shireen.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Mila says, in Reformer, the same one-to-one video and one group class. You won't do a full group class. You'll just do the 30-minute, 20 to 30-minute teaching as what we did the other day. It's like 20 minutes of teaching and then just the one-to-one video. So just one video, one-to-one. The group class is going to be, Mila, you didn't do yours this Saturday, so you're going to do yours this Saturday. So just be prepared for that. 5 movements you're teaching. That's it. No.
Um,
20 sessions shadowing is not counting. Yes, Hanan.
yeah, please. I want, there is a lot of idea in my mind. I'm afraid if I'll postpone it to June, because you are fasting, we are Muslim, and really it's not easy for us to cope this within 2 weeks, because you want the video one-to-one and you want that we finish the LAR. I know I am so busy because I handle 57 students right now. I'll do my best within 2 weeks to submit the LAR and video one-to-one.
You don't need to submit in 2 weeks. You have 1 year. You have 1 year to submit. There's no timeline.
Yeah, it's okay. But as I mentioned, I need this at least. Can you give me at least a test, not assessment, a paper that I attend these classes to submit it to my point to be easy to continue like that. I will prepare it better. I'll practice more, and I will do my exam in June. It will be easy for me in June. At least I will not be fasting, and at least I will have at least 3 or 4 months to practice
Okay.
with my
Yes.
patient here, the Pilates.
Yes.
I can send it this practice every week or every month for you. But at least they need this to submit it to, as I told you, to the medical license.
Okay, perfect.
Let's discuss this on coming Friday about my requirement.
We're not going to discuss it in person. Send me a message on WhatsApp exactly what you need. Exactly what you need. I will get the document prepared for you. I can definitely do this for you. Better than you're trying to rush it and you're not doing it properly. So this we can definitely do. I can tell them exactly. It's like, by the way, guys, this course is like 200 hours. Right? That's the intensity of the course. It's a diploma. It's not just a certificate. It's a diploma. That's why it's a little bit intense.
Really, I want, and from my purpose, I want to practice in person with other coaches as I took classes and I deliver with my student. I don't want to rush this diploma. You got my point?
Yes. No need
Yeah,
to.
after I
Tell
say
me exactly what you need. I'll give you the documents. When you're ready, خلاص, we set the exam. That's it. There's no rush for it.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank you
yes,
so
yes.
much.
There,
Yes.
for all of you guys, you have 1 year to do it. So there's no rush at all. No worries, Mila. Just tell me what you need, type what you need. I will send you the documents. I cannot give any certificates until you completed everything, but I can give you a document. You've attended so far this many hours of training. You've completed everything. We did it last training. We gave papers to say they've completed everything. They're just in the final assessments of the practical. Then there will be complete. Hanan, while I have you, let me know what was your biggest win of the whole course.
What with?
What
What
was your
is? I
biggest
didn't.
win? Your biggest win? What are you proud of the whole course? What did you enjoy the most for the whole course?
The biggest one of this course, the lovely group that I met. Really, I win a new friends, a new sister in my life. I really enjoy the time with you, and you, of course, to know you. As me, you know that I am physiotherapist, I add my knowledge, other approach in my work, other approach, other how to deliver the session, how to speak, the power. I like your manner, your energy. You know, you change a lot of things for me from how to deliver the session, how to speak to others. You know, it's different. It's different. That this is what I want, really. And the lovely group. Yes, I love them all.
Cute, cute, honey. Thank you so much, Habibti. Thank you. Mai, let us know your biggest win. Let us know if you've got any questions
Yes, hi. My biggest win is collecting clients' information.
from the whole
Yeah.
course.
But for the whole course. Oh my God. For the whole course. Oh my God. A lot. Actually, a lot. I've learned a lot from Pilates. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. And I will try my best to learn and more informations and details. So this is for my benefit, you know? And for your information, actually I had done my self video last Thursday, but when I checked, it was only 30 minutes
That's
only.
okay. 30
That's
minutes is
okay?
fine. Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay. And then I'll send it to you. Until now, I haven't sent it to you. And then so far, I don't have any question until I check every single thing. That's it.
Okay. Okay, so I'm
Thank you
waiting for
so
you and Shireen message then. I'm joking.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mai.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sophia, let us know your biggest win.
Hi again. Sorry if it's a little bit noisy, but now people is coming down.
That's fine.
Okay. For the biggest win, there are so many things to put everything I cannot now, but I believe that being persistent and professional on this Pilates as instructors is the most important because you can see everywhere like people to be instructor and to provide classes. But you have to be really accurate and professional in what you want to deliver on this. So I believe with all this knowledge that you have put in our minds, like in these 6 weeks, and we feel like crazy now, essentially that it's going to get better and it's going to be more structured and everything. Unfortunately, you're not going to stay here for 3 months. We're going to miss you, but hopefully you'll be back soon. I have like 2 questions. Again, I'm also texting you a lot of times and
It's okay.
being annoyed. I want to ask about the reformer. Is there an exam you said online again on Wednesday? Is there like in
Yes.
the platform?
Yes.
Okay, because I haven't
40
done this
questions,
one.
multiple choice. It's not very difficult. It's not too challenging. So 40 questions, that's it.
Okay, for the math one, the physiology, I already done it, and I think it's 40 minutes. Kosheris said it's 30. I believe it's 40
Okay,
because
okay,
I've done it.
perfect. It should be
It's a
40.
little bit pressure, but I mean you can manage. If you are totally alone and nobody's there around you, you can finish it. And one more time. Yeah, 2 things. The Saturday session, the group one. I don't think it was recorded, right?
No, because it's just other people delivering.
Okay, so to have an
So
idea how to do it and this. Okay.
yeah, so it's just the same way we've been training up until this point. That's it. So go and look at any of the videos that I delivered.
Yeah.
Choose your 5 exercises. That's it. You will just deliver the 5 exercises. You're not even doing the ABC. You're not doing any of that because already, Khalas, you're doing it in the mat.
We're just going directly to the moves?
Yeah, in the group one. In the
Yes, in the group
one-on-one,
one.
no, it will be a full session from the beginning.
Okay, and you said you don't mind if the one-on-one is with a different person apart from the one I'm going to complete in an LAR. And the plumb line is going to be the same person, but for the one-on-one, can it be in a different person?
Sure, no one's really gonna check it and vaccinate something.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Sharice. Thank you. And if anything comes up to my mind, I will bother you again. Sorry.
Yeah, sure, no worries. No
Thank
worries.
you.
And Sophia, did you say your biggest win? Yes, you said just everything you learned, right?
Yeah, I mean, everything put in a right order, in order to be uh, precise, let's say, for whatever we're going outside, to be proud and happy that we're from the Ignite, and we're going to be your you're a good student.
Good, good. This is just the
Thank you.
foundation, right? The same like with the PT course. When you first finish your PT course, you haven't been training someone for a year already. You just learned the science. And that's why the practical part is so important, because you can actually put to practice, but it's still you're practicing. That's why it's so important we get these practicals, the group, the one-to-one, because it will teach you how to do it for real life. Then by the time you're doing it for real life, like, gosh, you're already confident. But now
Yeah.
it's just the foundation. It's just the beginning. Now you start to get better and better and better, because you understand really deeply the science.
Thank you, Cyrus.
Okay, thank you, Sophia. Neela says, my biggest win is that realizing on our field, always we have to refresh info. And for that, I like to do new trainings. When we're meeting new people, new info is like to see myself where I'm teaching in my journey. Beautiful, right? I love it. It's challenging every time. Beautiful, right? And that challenge is what helps us to get stronger and helps us to get better. So we need that. So nice. Patty, if you can, let us know your biggest win and any questions you may have.
Hello, hi Cherries, hi ladies. I'm still recovering from my sickness, but getting better. Uh, it is overwhelming. Lovely, lovely training. I wouldn't have done it with anyone else or any other institute for sure, because the way you explain and everything is in such a beautiful manner organized. And I love that. I know learning is hard, it is overwhelming, but I know for a fact that I'm learning the right way. It's not about just becoming an instructor, but also having responsibility of somebody's life, and it's a big responsibility. I know it's hard, but I want to do it the right way, and I'm glad that sometimes I really want to cry and I want to say that my cabin crew life was so much better than all of this study. But yes, but then I tell myself why I transitioned into this, and I always keep reminding myself, it's been lovely, lovely, this training. I've already finished my PT. This seemed very different and lovely, and now it's like I'm touching all the elements of training, right? Slowly, like PT and then Pilates, and it's beautiful, and it's so nice to have you in the class. Your energy, like Hanan said, right? We are learning how to deliver it in the right way, not just delivering Pilates, but how to do it, how to make one feel important and good. And you do this for us, and yes, so more power to you, Cherise, and all the ladies. We'll get through this. Let's do this. Yes, that's all from me. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Patty. And yeah, well done on your PT. Patty finished her PT and went pretty much directly into Pilates. So she's just been learning. And PT is 12 weeks, right? And there's even more assessments for that. So, Miss Gina. But well done, Patty. After this, inshallah, it will be more downhill, putting into practice, working, not so much learning
Yes,
and
I'm
studying.
hoping. Yeah, I'm done with the learning.
Thank you. Zanet, let us know. Any questions? What was your biggest win? Let us know.
Hello, Cherise. How are you? It's my first time I talk here. So my biggest one, I think
Welcome. I thought.
I I meet like new people and I love your energy too. I don't know. I don't see anyone have your energy. So I'm really quiet person. So it's good to me like to catch all this thing is new for me. And I feel like better to control my body more, and I have like more strong. I feel like more balance. I feel like that. That's it. And a lot things, but this what I can talk about it.
Amazing, Zane. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Lovely to have you. And welcome to the first the theory session. We're loved having you here. Thank you, ladies. I hope you all have a lovely, lovely day. I will see you guys either Friday or Saturday for our last practical session. Bye bye. See you. Have a lovely day.